It looks like you're asking me to rewrite an article about Chicago PD and Chicago Fire with a specific tone and length, incorporating details about their streaming success, recent renewals with budget cuts, and the interconnected One Chicago and Law and Order universes. Let's dive into it. Hold onto your helmets, One Chicago fans. The streaming surge is real, despite that little hiccup. All right, my fellow Chicago fanatics, can we just take a moment to appreciate what's happening right now? Because honestly, it's nothing short of incredible. Our beloved Chicago PD and Chicago Fire are not just holding their own. They're absolutely dominating the streaming charts. I'm talking about a full-on, siren-blaring, lights-flashing surge that's got everyone talking. And here's the kicker. This streaming explosion is happening after those recent renewal announcements that, let's be honest, left a few of us scratching our heads and maybe even shedding a tear or two. But hey, it just goes to show the power of this incredible franchise and the sheer dedication of us, the fans. You know how sometimes you just know a show is hitting different. That's exactly what Flix Patrol is confirming for us. Both Chicago PD and Chicago Fire have been doing a graceful yet powerful climb up Peacock's top 10 in the good old US of A. And when I say climb, I mean they're practically scaling skyscrapers. Chicago PD has been a steady presence, hanging out in the top 10 all week. It started at a respectable number 10 on June 13th, then bam, jumped to number 7 yesterday, and today, it's sitting pretty at an impressive number 5. Can we get a round of applause? Not to be outdone, Chicago Fire is also bringing the heat. It kicked off at the number 10 spot on June 12th. Then yesterday it was already up to number 9. And now, it's blazing its way to number 6. Seriously, these shows are like that favorite comfort food you just can't get enough of. The One Chicago franchise, brainchild of the legendary Dick Wolf, has always been a ratings powerhouse for NBC on traditional TV, but seeing these numbers translate so powerfully to streaming on Peacock just solidifies what we've known all along. These stories, these characters, they resonate deeply with us. Now let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? You know, that little controversial catch that came with our renewals last month. Because real talk, when we heard that NBC was giving all the One Chicago shows new season orders, which, yay, it came with a side of budget cuts. And honestly, my heart sank a little when I heard the whispers. Rumors have been swirling faster than a Chicago snowstorm that one of the ways shows like Chicago PD and Chicago Fire might be trimming the fat is by having some of our beloved series regulars sit out a few episodes here and there. Gulp. And if that wasn't enough to make us clutch our pearls, there were also reports that our incredible cast members might be foregoing their annual raises. These are the folks who bring these characters to life, who make us laugh, cry, and cheer. They deserve every penny. Plus, it sounds like all 3 series might even have shorter episode counts in their upcoming seasons. I don't know about you, but for me, less One Chicago is definitely not more. It's like being told you can only have one slice of deep dish pizza when you really want the whole pie. But wait, there's more to this nail-biting saga. NBC is reportedly still in negotiations with some of the franchise's most seasoned veterans. Can you even imagine a Chicago Fire without Kelly Severide, or a Chicago PD without Hank Voight? It's a thought that sends shivers down my spine, because it means there's a real, albeit hopefully small, chance we could see some characters leaving if agreements can't be reached. I'm crossing all my fingers and toes that every single one of our favorite faces will be back. The good news, though, is that the general vibe is that everyone is currently in talks to return. Phew. Breathe, everyone. Breathe. Let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer longevity and impact of this universe. Chicago Fire was the trailblazer, igniting the whole franchise back in 2012. Can you believe it's run for over 270 episodes already? That's a whole lot of emergencies, rescues, and personal drama that has kept us glued to our screens. It pulls us into the heart of the Chicago Fire Department, showing us the incredible dedication and bravery of firefighters and rescue professionals, both on the job and in their everyday lives. Then, just a year later in 2013, came the gritty and intense Chicago PD. This show plunges us into the world of patrol officers and detectives of the Chicago Police Department. It recently aired its season 12 final. And oh boy, did that stir up some feelings. Fans had been waiting for a long time for a certain moment, and many felt it didn't quite get the spotlight it deserved. But hey, that's just a testament to how invested we are in these characters and their journeys. Now for the cool part, the shared universe. The Chicago franchise, as we know, was co-created by the legendary Dick Wolf and produced by Wolf Entertainment. And over the years, it's become crystal clear that these shows aren't just standalone hits. They share a universe with Wolf's other iconic franchise, Law and Order. How awesome is that? This shared universe is pure magic, leading to incredible crossovers that weave together storylines and allow our favorite characters from different shows to interact. It's like a massive, interconnected family. I still remember that first epic crossover back in 2014 when Law and Order, SVU, and Chicago PD teamed up to hunt down a criminal. Seeing Ice-T, Kelly Giddish, and David Eigenberg's characters from SVU come to Chicago was just chef's kiss. And then, earlier this year, all three won Chicago shows: Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD, united for a truly unforgettable storyline. We're talking about a massive gas explosion hitting a high-rise building, forcing all three groups to work together in a desperate race against time to save those trapped, including two of their very own. These are the moments that solidify why we love these shows so much. The teamwork, the bravery, and the deep, unwavering connections. So, while we might have a few anxious moments about budget cuts and contract negotiations, let's not forget the incredible power and undeniable draw of the One Chicago universe. The streaming numbers speak for themselves. We're here for the long haul, ready to cheer on our heroes, and eagerly anticipating every single episode. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear the siren call of a Chicago PD marathon calling my name.